Good afternoon, YouTubers, and welcome back to Baggywrinklers and Eliona. Thought I'd do a bit of a hack video for you inside the boat. As I've said before, this is supposed to be a channel where I try and make yachting as cost effective as possible, saving where I can, using ideas that I see from interior design, kitchen design, etc. So this is where I'll show you a number of things that I've taken mainly from things like Amazon, eBay, and applied those to the boat, preferably not using chandleries. No doubt I'll miss stuff, so I'll have to come back and revisit a part 2 of this video. I'll leave the links down below of the things that I've bought, if I can still find the links. This has been a 6-year project so far. So hopefully you enjoy. If you like the videos, subscribe, share them with your friends, and like them. So first of all, with the fridge, I'll go through an ice making hack. I've got a vertical plate there, but I can actually make ice on the boat, which is a bit funky. But one of the first hacks, I don't know if anyone shops in Lidl or Aldi, you can get these little inside outside thermometers. So I've put one of them in place. Basically the inside temperature is actually where it is here, and then I take the outside lead and I've just run it, just as you can see the wire there, runs through the taped in, and I've put the thermostat up in here. It's just that one there. So first hack allows you to monitor the temperature of the fridge. Lots of boat fridges tend to have really basic thermostats. This is a really good way of making sure that your fridge A is working and B is a half decent temperature in there, and you can maintain it. Also maintains battery life. So next hack, if you have sort of cupboards like this on board the boat, what I did is find a spice rack, and the one I found was a double height one, and actually fitted it. Well, I took a Dremel to it first, as you can see that's where the top rail was, and then use the actual screw holes as part of the unit. Make sure that your screws are the right depth and your doors an appropriate thickness, and there you go. Put all of your loose items behind at the back of the door. Most doors will close, as you see. Bang. So let's say that was a double height one. I actually put the other half there, so again keeps all this loose stuff that's normally rattling around in these cupboards on the backs of the doors, easy to get to. That kind of takes me on to the next hack, which is, well, it's not really a hack, but we like coffee on the boat. So get yourself one of these manual coffee grinder. Again, for those that are conscious of your battery power and might not have an inverter on board, this is a manual stainless steel coffee grinder, so it's not going to go rusty. Good taking beans. If you're only on the boat weekends, beans actually last longer and they don't go off as much as ground coffee. That means provisioning is a bit easier. And then, saying that, in the cupboard down here, alongside that is a stainless steel coffee pot. Worth finding yourself a stainless one. Again, it can rattle around inside the cupboard and is not going to get broken. Next piece of hackery, 3M do great wall hooks. So to stop all of your lids rattling around inside the lockers, use 3 hooks at an angle The bigger 3M hooks are great. Make sure that you do actually give the back of the cupboard a really good clean with some alcohol wipes. Make sure it's really clean, otherwise these don't stick. The 3M ones do stick a lot better than others. And there you go. You can use that hack at home as well if you want. But it's great, keeps all the lids out of the way, stops them rattling around, make sure you can find them as well. You'll see I've got a dehumidifier on board. That's just a B&Q one, and it's a nice simple unit, just plugs in while the boat's here, keeps the damp out of the boat. Oh, there's another little addition here, care of Amazon, kitchen grade stainless steel rack for cling film and foil, just mounted to the wall, nice and easy. Also took me a while to find one of these, but hanging bin that has nothing under here, because inside the locker it can get a bit cluttered. There isn't a lot of space behind the door, but this unit is literally just that ring there, which is plastic. So you can see it's a plastic ring that I've just screwed to the back of the door. This ring goes inside the bag and clips in like so, and then the lid goes on top. As I say, took me a while to find one that was the right depth here. Care of Amazon, about £10 delivered. Nice and easy, just put bags in, keeps everything out of the way in the cupboard. Lots of boats have a seat. Under here in this box is a food compartment or storage compartment. It was a pain, quite frankly, because it didn't stay upright. So had my kitchen redone at home, lots of these gas struts left over, just added one to the box lid stays up, easy. I know lots of other Do 436 classics have got this type of storage or under seat storage, and this always falls down, especially if you don't take the cushion off. If you take the cushion off, it sits a little bit closer to the table, but putting that gas strut on, it's there, easy. So old boats or older boats generally don't have the funky LED lighting as all the new boats or previous 5 years come with. You can relatively cheaply change your lighting on the boat to make it a bit more livable, so you haven't got bright lights all the time. So I'm just going to turn the lights on and show you up in our master cabin. Let's make it a bit dark. So what I've done under here, you see that was the original light, and then we've got that light up there, that light there, which are the originals. Not particularly great. So one of the things that I thought about doing is getting some LED strip. Conserves power really well, especially if you've got it only on one of the LEDs. I use RGB 50/50. What I've done is got a little rocker switch here to show red, so good for night. I've got a switch that side, and I've got a switch that side, and on the other side it's white. So it's an RGB strip, but what I've done is put a diode between the two outer pins on that switch, and put the red channel to one side, and then the blue and the green channel plus the power to the other side. So when you switch the switch, you only get red, or you get all three LEDs coming on as white. So I've done that throughout the boat, using the back of the coaming up here just to stick the strip to. I've also added using the appropriate gauge wire from here back to the panel, a couple of sockets. Again, that is like a £5 unit. Drill a hole, wire it up, nice and easy. Let's put some light on the subject. You can see the switch, just a very simple rocker switch. When Maplins were in existence, that was a couple of quid. What I've also done is change all of the bulbs in all of the lights to LED bulbs. They're G5s, I think, little 2-pin, really cheap. I got the eBay ones, so they're about £1 each. Buy spares, because sometimes a couple of them are a bit off, but for £1 each. It's quite simple. Lots of people I know really complain about those bulbs because they say that they interfere with the radio and give off some HF interference. I've never had a problem. Quite frankly, the lights are not on that much when you're sailing or with your radio on. I'm still in the master cabin. We carpeted the house recently and had some carpet over, so I cut the template, cut the carpet out, and took it to a local carpet fitters who had the facility to edge carpet. It was about, I think it was about £4 per linear metre to do that. The easier the shape, the cheaper it is. This is quite a complex shape in here. And then what I've done is just make sure, well, you don't have to make sure, but as you can see, this is a felt back carpet, just easier on the wood floors, to be fair, and I've put some anti-slip underneath. That's it. I've done the aft cabin as well, just to make it a bit nicer under feet when you get out of bed. So that's a number of things in the galley cupboards, carpet, lighting. There you have it. Let's show you the aft cabin lighting. This one's there's a little bit of a mess up here because this is where we put all the cushions, but I've done exactly the same thing here. Your rocker switch here, but in this instance what I've done is I've used the mouldings that you find in the ceiling just to provide some extra light all the way back. So my engine's under there, this box slides that way. Must admit, this light is a godsend when you are trying to work on the engine, because all of this area becomes illuminated with all this nice bright white light. While we're in the aft cabin, this is a bit of a cut, so hopefully I'll be able to edit this together. I did actually think, brilliant hack. One of the very first things I did on this boat, I've got an air dispatcher down back there in the lazarette, but it didn't get very warm. The air coming out of the vents wasn't very warm at all. So, realising that generally if you've got the heater on, it's cold outside, obviously, lots of boats haven't got lagged pipe work. So the air is cooling down all of the time. It's going from right at the back of the boat right to the front in the fore cabin. So I must admit, quite lucky walking around B&Q. There was lots of this woolen pipe lagging. It comes in rolls, 3 rolls in a pack, and it was £1 per pack, I think it was on special. And basically it's this woolen wrap. Aesthetically, it's not offensive, but what it does do is keep all of the heat in that pipe. These are just standard aluminium pipes, air dispatcher pipe work. Webasto do something similar, I know, and I know that the manufacturer's lagging, which is like a polystyrene, is incredibly expensive. That was about half of one of those rolls, so I bought probably about £10 worth to do the whole boat, and literally cable tie it one end, don't know if you can see that, and wrap it. You have to get all the way around the pipe, but in most instances you can. So this is wrapped. You just keep wrapping, cable tie the other end. I've done 90% of all of the pipe work on this boat. So in this locker behind that wall, that's all outside space effectively, so all of that's done. Back of the lazarette, coming out the dispatcher, back of this cupboard, it goes. Can't get to that bit in there. It comes down there, outbound pipe there, all under every single one of these seats where the pipe work runs. That's all lagged when it's lagged in our or under our berth as well. Makes a massive difference. If you can lag the pipes, you will see probably at least a 50% increase in temperature coming out the vents. As I say, and it doesn't have to be expensive. Any pipe lagging, this is really good. It's a woolen one, good for the boat because it's fire retardant as well, natural wool, and as I say, where you can see it, it's not particularly offensive. So good hack. I think that's a good hack. It was really cheap to do, worth doing if you've got your boat out of the water with all of your lockers and basically the inside of the boat empty. I did it when I bought the boat, so the boat was completely empty. Just means it's easy to get in and amongst everything. There you have it. Just open the fridge because it's off at the moment. A few hacks. By all means, go search eBay, go search Amazon for things that you would normally get in the home. Perfectly acceptable to use those on your boat. You haven't got to do anything very expensive. So there you go. A few hacks to help you out. Enjoy. If you've got any comments, put them in the comments below. And if you've got any ideas, maybe I haven't thought about it. Probably I haven't thought about it. By all means, get in touch. If you want to know where I got some of this stuff, I won't link it all in the description, but by all means, give me a shout, leave a comment below, and I will get in touch. So subscribe and share the channel if you like it, and I shall speak to you soon. Baggywrinklers out.